And the thing that I'm thinking about is this. The first part of the gospel of salvation is offensive. To the average fleshly, normal human being, hearing that you're an enemy to God is offensive and difficult to hear, especially hearing that from another human being. You know, like just seeing Christians, I know people who are very offended by Christians who have faith in God, because who are you, right, to have faith in God? Because to a lot of people, just the idea of God is scary. Now you're telling me that I'm an enemy of God. And I think people then just choose to rather stay in ignorance about the whole thing, about the whole message, about the whole idea of who Jesus Christ is and the whole gospel of salvation. Because I can't fathom that now I'm in a position where I have to reconcile with God. Why? You know, it's not even obvious at all. You don't, like, it's not perceivable in this world. So I understand, and if you are one of those people, or you know people who are just ignorant or who don't even fully understand the gospel of salvation and who Jesus Christ is, if you're ignorant, it's okay. Like, there's hope, because God can give you the wisdom and God can give that understanding, and that's what He does, right? He gives. That's how people come to Christ, is when God gives them the understanding and God gives them that wisdom of who He is through Jesus Christ. Because at the end of the day, what needs to happen is that He needs to come back. Like, Jesus Christ needs to come back into this world, and this world needs to pass away, and we need to move on to the next thing. And He cannot come back. The Bible says that God won't come back until the mystery of lawlessness is revealed, and until the deception of Satan has been made obvious, basically. And that's why people who are Christians and people who do believe in Jesus Christ share the gospel and open about their faith and speak about their faith and share their testimonies. It's not necessarily to convert people, but it's to bring them out of the ignorance. Some people don't even know that they're ignorant. That's a whole nother story. But the more I talk about Jesus, the more I live my life as a Christian and as a new creation in Jesus Christ, and the more people see that, the more in your mind, as you come out of that ignorance, you have to make a decision. And that's the thing. And that's why the Lord even says He didn't come on this earth so that everybody can live in peace. He came on this earth to bring a sword, to separate people, so that people make their choices. People need to make a choice. Like, you have to either accept or reject Jesus Christ. And I think the more we speak the gospel, the more we open about our faith, the more we push people and we manifest that sword. It doesn't matter. Like, I've seen, like, a lot of people that will, I know there's people who've already written me off in their minds and just completely like push me aside because of my faith in Jesus Christ and my openness about my faith in Jesus Christ. There are people who have already rejected Jesus Christ in their hearts because of my faith, and that's what I want. That's what needs to happen. There are people who will accept Jesus Christ in their lives because of my faith, because that sword needs to manifest. People need to make a choice, and the more people make a choice, the closer we get to his coming, right? And the more the deception of Satan is revealed, right? At some point, people will then realize, oh, I cannot follow Christ and also do this. I cannot follow Christ and also do this. I cannot follow Christ and also be, and that's a part of just making that choice. It has to happen. It has to happen. And so, yeah, I think the reason I started with this video with that idea of like ignorance is that because I know like a lot of people are just ignorant. It's not that they it's not that they necessarily actually do feel any type of way. It's just that they don't understand the full thing, and also don't understand who Jesus Christ is to them in their lives, which is a whole nother story. But when Paul says, Paul, who was a murderer in the Bible, he was a murderer he murdered like Christians. He writes in one of his letters that God had mercy on him and God forgave him for that, because all that he did in ignorance of who he was. And he forgave him and had mercy that he might show Paul as an example of his patience and his long suffering to those who are his. And I believe that, again, I said this before, like God knows the ones who are his. So even if you are ignorant at this point in time, even if you are just all over the place at this point in time, God knows that you are his, and he will wait for you, and he will have patience with you. And he loves you at the end of the day. God really loves us. God really loves us, guys. And I think it's just so important that at the end of the day we come out of the ignorance and we come out of just the deception, because I think the biggest barrier that we're facing in the world right now is just being deceived about who he is, and being deceived about what this world is that we're living in. But the more we preach the gospel, the more we speak about God and his salvation, the more that veil comes off, that veil of deception comes off, and the closer we get to his coming, because then people start making choices. A very easy choice to make if you're his. If you belong to Christ, very easy choice to make once you have come out of the deception. So, yeah.